get it from a lot of places, but right now, this morning, I'm getting it from, there's not a motherfucker that's up. There's not a car, there's not a person. Everybody's in their bed, sleep, dreading that it's a Monday, hate it's a Monday. And I'm loving it. I'm loving that. Where everybody's getting weaker, I'm getting stronger. It's not about the running, the swimming, the push-ups, the sit-ups. It's about what those things do for your mentality. You don't get better on the daggone. We're out of time, so make sure you do what you think today. So another year is come and gone, and a lot of us are in the same fucking place we were last year. What the fuck are you waiting on? We sleep 1/3 of our fucking lives, and we think we can take fucking days off. We think we have the right to sit back and give ourselves fucking options on which way we're gonna go in life. Am I gonna run today? Am I gonna work out today? Well, it's Christmas. It's New Year's. It's my birthday. Do you think time gives a fuck that it's Christmas, that it's New Year's, that it's your birthday? You give yourself too many fucking options. Let me tell you one thing. Time is running out. You keep on sitting around wondering what the fuck you want to do. You're just gonna run out of time. So make sure you.
When you're running, you run for hours.
Days.
What days?
And so many people just want it the easy way.
Everything I had gone through, I realized that the human mind, if you can put it in a very quiet, calm place and get it to calm down and not be so spastic, that you could possibly make this work out for you. How bad are you really? So I calmed myself down and I had to make this enormous thing small. I had 30 more miles to run and my body was in the worst shape in my entire life, the worst pain I ever felt in my life. So I broke this 30 miles thing down. I broke it down to small chunks. I calmed my mind down. I had to get water, had to get potassium, had to get sodium. I had to stop being so dizzy because I had to be able to stand up. So my dizziness went away after about an hour. I was able to stand up now. And I was going around this track at like 30-some minute mile. And I'll never forget my crew person saying, hey, I got to mile 81. They said, you're not gonna make the time. I had 24 hours and I was going so slow, taking so much time. This is when I realized that the human mind, once everything gets connected, once the mind knows you're not going to quit something, it's going to try to find more. It's going to try to give you more. Once it realizes you're not going to take the path of least resistance, you're going to stay here until it's done. My mind and my body and my spirit became one for the first time ever. For the first time ever, it became one. And I went to a level that I never thought was humanly possible for myself or anybody else. In that shape that I was in, I was able to run 19 miles. And I ran 19 miles, did 100 miles, I actually did one more mile. I did 101 miles in 18 hours and 56 minutes. I'd overcome so many obstacles in my life, and this was the final crucible for me. And I got through it. And at the end of this race was such clarity to me. And it was just the most amazing thing I ever do in my life.
I was at the very edge of my capability and wasn't sure that I could take one more step. I felt like I drained 99% from my tank at least. My gas light was on, my engine shuddering, yet I knew I had to find more if I was going to finish this race and get myself into bad water. But how do you push yourself when pain is all you feel with every step? When agony is the feedback loop that permeates each cell in your body, begging you to stop. That's tricky because the threshold for suffering is different for everybody.
What's universal is the impulse to succumb, to feel like you've given everything you can and that you are justified in leaving a job undone. By now, I'm sure you can tell that it doesn't take much for me to become obsessed. Some criticize my level of passion, but I'm not down with the prevailing mentalities that tend to dominate American society these days. The ones that tell us to go with the flow or invite us to learn how to get more with less effort. Fuck that shortcut bullshit. The reason I embrace my own obsessions and demand and desire more of myself is because I've learned that it's only when I push beyond pain and suffering, past my perceived limitations, that I'm capable of accomplishing more physically and mentally. In endurance races, but also in life as a whole. And I believe the same is true for you. The human body is like a stock car. We may look different on the outside, but under the hood we all have huge reservoirs of potential and a governor impeding us from reaching our maximum velocity. In a car, the governor limits the flow of fuel and air so it doesn't burn too hot, which places a ceiling on performance. It's a hardware issue. The governor can easily be removed, and if you disable yours, watch your car rocket beyond 130 miles per hour. It's a subtler process in the human animal. Our governor is buried deep in our minds, intertwined with our very identity. It knows what and who we love and hate. It's read our whole life story and forms the way we see ourselves and how we'd like to be seen. It's the software that delivers personalized feedback in the form of pain and exhaustion, but also fear and insecurity. And it uses all of that to encourage us to stop before we risk it all. But here's the thing, it doesn't have absolute control. Unlike the governor in an engine, ours can't stop us unless we buy into its bullshit and agree to quit. Sadly, most of us give up when we've only given around 40% of our maximum effort. Even when we feel like we've reached our absolute limit, we still have 60% more to give. That's the governor in action. Once you know that to be true, it's simply a matter of stretching your pain tolerance, letting go of your identity and all your self-limiting stories so you can get to 60%, then 80% and beyond without giving up. I call this the 40% rule. And the reason it's so powerful is that if you follow it, you will unlock your mind to new levels of performance and excellence in sports and in life. And your rewards will run far deeper than mere material success. The 40% rule can be applied to everything we do, because in life, almost nothing will turn out exactly as we hope. There are always challenges, and whether we are at work or school or feeling tested within our most intimate or important relationships, we will all be tempted to walk away from commitments, give up on our goals and dreams, and sell our own happiness short at some point, because we will feel empty, like we have no more to give when we haven't tapped even half of the treasure buried deep in our minds, hearts, and souls. I know how it feels to be approaching an energetic dead end. I've been there too many times to count. I understand the temptation to sell short, but I also know that impulse is driven by your mind's desire for comfort, and it's not telling you the truth. It's your identity trying to find sanctuary, not help you grow. It's looking for status quo, not reaching for greatness or seeking wholeness. But the software update that you need to shut your governor down is no supersonic download. It takes 20 years to gain 20 years of experience. And the only way to move beyond your 40% is to callous your mind day after day, which means you'll have to chase pain like it's your damn job. Imagine you're a boxer, and on your first day in the ring, you take one on your chin. It's gonna hurt like fucking hell, but at year 10 of being a boxer, you won't be stopped by one punch. You'll be able to absorb 12 rounds of getting beat the fuck down and come back the very next day and fight again. It's not that the punch has lost power. Your opponents will be even stronger. The change has happened within your brain. You've calloused your mind. Over a period of time, your tolerance for mental and physical suffering will have expanded because your software will have learned that you can take a hell of a lot more than one punch. And if you stay with any task that is trying to beat you down, you will reap rewards. Not a fighter. Say you like to run, but have a broken pinky toe. I'll bet if you continue running on it, pretty soon you'll be able to run on broken legs. Sounds impossible, right? I know it's true because I've run on broken legs. And that knowledge helped me endure all manner of agonies on the ultra circuit, which has revealed a clear spring of self-confidence that I drink from whenever my tank is dry. But nobody taps their reserves 60% right away or all at once. The first step is to remember that your initial blast of pain and fatigue is your governor talking. Once you do that, you are in control of the dialogue in your mind, and you can remind yourself that you are not as drained as you think, that you haven't given it your all, not even close. Buying into that will keep you in the fight, and that's worth an extra 5%. Of course, that's easier listened than done. It wasn't easy to begin the fourth lap of the Hurt 100 because I knew how much it would hurt. And when you are feeling dead and buried, dehydrated, wrung out, and torn the fuck up at 40%, finding that extra 60% feels impossible. I didn't want my suffering to continue. Nobody does. That's why the line fatigue makes cowards of us all is true as shit. Mind you, I didn't know anything about the 40% rule that day. The Hurt 100 is when I first started to contemplate it, but I had hit the wall many times before, and I had learned to stay present and open-minded enough to recalibrate my goals, even at my lowest. I knew that staying in the fight is always the hardest and most rewarding first step. Of course, it's easy to be open-minded when you leave yoga class and are taking a stroll by the beach, but when you're suffering, keeping an open mind is hard work. The same is true if you are facing a daunting challenge on the job or at school. Maybe you are tackling a 100-question test and know that you bricked the first 50. At that point, it's extremely difficult to maintain the necessary discipline to force yourself to keep taking the test seriously. It's also imperative that you find it, because in every failure, there is something to be gained, even if it's only practice for the next test you'll have to take, because that next test is coming. That's a guarantee. The 1 second decision is, I had to live through that 1 second decision several times during this race. So this race took me 100 and some hours, okay? And this is what people don't get. For you to finish that race, even though I DNF'd, I still finished in the time. So there's a lot of pride in that. So what I do in that 1 second, because we all think about quitting, it's hard. But what you have to do in that 1 second is hard to process information during pain, because that pain takes over and you can't think rationally. You're thinking about fight or flight, save yourself. That's not a rational thought. It's not a thought that's going to get you through hard times. Most people fail that 1 second. So what happens, what I do in that 1 second, and there's a bigger process to all this, but in that 1 second, I physically stayed in that water, because if I get out of the water, I quit. So I physically stay in the water, but mentally, I'm on the beach with the instructors. And the instructors, it's cold outside, so they got these parkas on, they got their cup of Joe, and they're warm because they've already been through it. So now it's your turn to go through it. So mentally, I get back with them. I'm still in the water physically, but mentally I'm back with them. I'm chilling. I got my parka on, and now I'm thinking logically because I'm warm now. Mentally, I'm warm. I've taken that 1 second. Let's not quit yet, Goggins. Let's think about your options. Where are you going to end up if you quit this? Where are you going to go? What are you going to say to yourself? Because you know you're going to get warm. The second you get out of this water, you're going to take a shower, and you're going to be warm. And in 5 days, you could be out. So I start thinking logically. I calm my brain down, because your brain just wants to get the f- out. Ring the bell, push your helmet down, get warm, and then you're really f***ed. And these are the things you have to think about in the 1 second decision. So that's what that's all about. It's about gaining control of your mind, putting things back in the proper perspective, and then saying, I really do want to be here, and I'm going to have a bunch of these 1 seconds through this 130-hour journey. And I have to learn to control these, because if I fail one of these 1 seconds, I will not be a SEAL. I will not be a doctor. I will not be a lawyer. I will not be whatever the fuck it is. So that's how important that 1 second decision is. It's all about your mind takes control of you. You have to say, you, I run this. And that's what that's all about. We must create a system that constantly reminds us who the fuck we are when we are at our best. Because life is not going to pick us up when we fall. There will be forks in the road, knives in your fucking back, mountains to climb, and we are only capable of living up to the image we create for ourselves. Prepare yourself. We know life can be hard, and yet we feel sorry for ourselves when it isn't fair. From this point forward, accept the following as Goggins' laws of nature. You will be made fun of. You will feel insecure. You may not be the best all the time. You may be the only black, white, Asian, Latino, female, male, gay, lesbian. There will be times when you feel alone. Get over it. Our minds are fucking strong. They are our most powerful weapon, but we have stopped using them. We have access to so many more resources today than ever before, and yet we are so much less capable than those who came before us. If you want to be one of the few to defy those trends in our ever-softening society, you will have to be willing to go to war with yourself and create a whole new identity, which requires an open mind. It's funny, being open-minded is often tagged as new age or soft. F that. Being open-minded enough to find a way is old school. It's what knuckle draggers do. And that's exactly what I did.
Luke here with the Outdoor Boys YouTube channel. And
What the hell were you all waiting for to start a Well, most people. For you to constantly win, when this voice over here, the real you, is saying, get the fuck out of here. Go. You're nobody. You've always been nobody. And it's true. People don't hear that. That's a true voice. That's the real reality of David Goggins at 24 years old. It's not a false reality. And then you had to create another voice over here that is saying you're better than that other voice. And you're in the freezing cold water that both voices don't want to be in. But you win. And it goes from the water to the studying, to the running, to losing weight, to how you eat, to how you function as a man. Every day of your life, you're winning these battles. And then I have normal people who only have one voice. Never created the second voice. The winning voice is the second voice. They have one voice. And that's just, I'm a piece of shit. That's all they hear. And then they judge people like me who are out here trying to be better. It's something that I can never really, it's a frustrating thing for me. Because I know the majority of people. I know what goes on in the brain because I studied the mind more than you. Because I'm a practitioner. So for you to be a piece of shit and come out of that, you don't just come out of it. You spend decades studying your mind and the human mind on how it functions in good environments, bad environments, stressful environments, patient environment. You studied all because you had to put all this together to create the mind to become successful. So I had to, it was like God blessed me with this brain. I had to create a mind. And so in doing so, I figured out every piece of human being in the world because that's what I was going off of for myself. So I know why you go on Instagram. I know why because you just have the time. You have the time. because you don't want to put that time into bettering oneself. So I know why I'm misunderstood. I'm misunderstood by people who have plenty of time on their hands to misunderstand me, because they are exactly where I once was, which is a low-life, lazy piece of shit. And it's the harsh reality of people who troll you, who go after you. They have nothing better to do with their lives. It's not some after-school special. It's the truth by once was that way. I know where it all comes from. That's why it's frustrating me now, because I'm not so frustrated at the fact that I'm being trolled. I'm frustrated by the fact that you don't have the courage to try to be somebody better than what you're not. And that's the frustrating part. Most people live their whole lives without ever contemplating what it means to be great. They put all the greats on a pedestal, but think of themselves as mere mortals. And that's exactly why greatness eludes them. They turn it into some untouchable plane, impossible for almost anybody to reach. And it never even crosses their mind to aim for it. No matter what I'm doing or which arena I'm engaging in, I will always aim for greatness, because I know that we are all mere mortals and greatness is possible for anyone and everyone if they are willing to seek it out in their own soul. In Gogglish terms, greatness is a state of letting go of all your faults and imperfections, scavenging every last bit of strength and energy, and putting it to use to excel at whatever you set your mind to. Even if some motherfucker out there told you it was impossible, it is a feeling pursued by those rare souls willing to extend themselves beyond reason and pay the cost. In the late 1950s, Captain Joseph Kittinger was a pilot in the Air Force, tapped for experimental aviation and skydiving duty in New Mexico. He wasn't a household name. In fact, hardly anybody knew the first thing about him until August 16, 1960, when he donned a red duct tape pressure suit and boarded an open-sided gondola tethered to an onion-shaped helium balloon. He flew that rig nearly 20 miles high until he reached the thin atmospheric line where everything goes from blue to black. He traveled to a place where the horizon did not exist. He was above and beyond all previously known limitations. Suspended at 102,800 feet, he unclipped his harness and stepped into space. His free fall lasted nearly 5 minutes. His maximum velocity was 614 miles per hour. He plummeted over 80,000 vertical feet before his primary chute opened. This was no Red Bull sponsored party. It wasn't a television show. Kittinger wasn't an entertainer. He was an explorer, a seeker of a new realm for the world. His flight and his jump helped make man's space flight possible. And also for himself. I don't jump to Earth from outer space, but I know that atmospheric line between blue and black. It is the glimmer of greatness that runs right through the human soul. We all have it. Most of us will never see it because to get there requires a willingness to extend yourself to the limit without any guarantee of success. Then again, success is just another mile marker on the journey. Landing the jump and walking away while lighting a cigarette as if it were a typical day on the job made Kittinger look cool. But it didn't make him great. His willingness to do it in the first place, knowing that the chances of failure were high and everything it cost him, made him great. It wasn't a stunt to garner fame or publicity. It was merely an attempt to see what was humanly possible. Just as words can be redefined, never doubt that we can redefine ourselves. It can feel impossible at times because we live in a world filled with arbitrary boundaries and fixed social lines that are as thick as the walls around a fortress. Worse, we allow those walls to limit us in too many ways. The brainwashing starts early, and it starts at home. The people we grow up with and the environments we grow up in define who we think we are and what we think life is all about. When you're young, you can only know what you see. And if all you are ever exposed to are lazy people, content with mediocrity, or who convince you of your own worthlessness, greatness will remain a fantasy. If you live in the ghetto or in a dying industrial or farming town where buildings are boarded up Addiction runs rampant, and the schools are a mess that will factor into the possibilities others envision for you and you envision for yourself. But even privileged people can feel shackled by their circumstances. The vast majority of parents don't know what greatness looks like, so they are ill-equipped and afraid to encourage big dreams. They want their children to have security and don't want them to experience failure. That's how limited horizons get passed down from generation to generation. Should we really be surprised that almost everybody has a knack for twisting their story to work against themselves? I hear it all the time. Privileged kids say, "I have too much, so I cannot develop the skills that you have." The kid that came from nothing will tell me, "I don't have enough. Therefore, I cannot develop the skills that you have." No matter where someone is in life, they never fail to confess why they can't get where they need to go. The minute they open their mouths, I see how limited their horizons are, and their sob stories come with the expectation that I will deliver a become great package to their front door. But that's not how it works. To this day, it is for me to become better mentally. How I look has just become I have thousands, hundreds of thousands of miles on this body, running, pull-ups, push-ups, swimming, whatever you want to call it. This body is what it is now. It's from repetition. It's not from studying, hey, if you hold a plank for this long, fuck all that bull. I don't care about it. Hey, if your body is what it is now. It's from repetition. It's not from studying, hey, if you hold a plank for this long, fuck all that bull. I don't care about it. I just do it for my mind.
Right.
I want to continue to harden because that's the only thing I want. That's what I want. I want to have that mind ready for life. Identity is a trap that will keep you in blinders if you let it. Sometimes identity is what we are saddled with by society. Other times is a category we claim. It can be empowering to associate yourself with a particular culture, group job, or lifestyle. But it can also be limiting. If you stick with your own too closely, you will be susceptible to groupthink, and you may never learn who you really are or what you can accomplish. I know people who are so obsessed with landing a specific job that once they settled into that role, they clipped their own wings. They never moved on or attempted to try anything new, and that blocked them from evolving and developing new skills. Sometimes we are misled by others who categorize us based on what they perceive as our identity. When I met with Navy recruiters, several tried to steer me away from SEAL training and into a different opportunity because I didn't fit the mold. I was overweight, my ASVAB scores were low, and there was my skin color. Remember, I was only the 36th Black Navy SEAL. The recruiters weren't trying to hurt me, and I don't believe they were racist. They honestly thought they were helping me by presenting more realistic options. Usually, however, we mislead ourselves. Those of us who are struggling with our self-worth, like I was as a child, often build identities around the very things that haunt us the most. Not because we want to, but because subconsciously we are convinced that is how everyone else sees us. You cannot allow what someone else may or may not think about you or the issues you're dealing with to stop your progress. My environment and my history made me over-anxious and stressed out. The color of my skin made me a mark. I was prejudged and vulnerable at almost every turn, and it was my job to defy all of that. No matter how troubled or hopeless or sheltered your environment is, it is your job, your obligation, your duty, and your responsibility to yourself to find the blue to black line, that glimmer buried in your soul, and seek greatness. Nobody can show you that glimmer. You must do the work to discover it on your own. There are no prerequisites to becoming great. You could be raised by a pack of wolves. You could be homeless and illiterate at 30 years old and graduate from Harvard at 40. You could be one of the most accomplished mothers in the country and still be hungrier and work harder than everybody else you know as you attempt to conquer a new field. And it all starts with a commitment to looking beyond your known world, beyond your street, town, state, or nationality, beyond culture and identity. Only then can true self-exploration begin. After that comes the real work. Fighting those demons every morning and all day long is maddening because they only ever want to break you down. They don't encourage you or make you feel good about yourself or your long odds as you fight through all the toxic mold and crust that is self-hate, doubt, and loneliness. They want to limit you. They want you to surrender and retreat back to what you know. They want you to quit before you get to pliability, where the sacrifice, hard work, and isolation that felt so heavy for so long become your haven, where after struggling to visualize greatness for years, it is effortless. That's when momentum will gather like an updraft and send you airborne and spiraling toward the outer limits of your known world. It's time to level up and seek out that blue to black line, the line that separates good from great. It is within each one of us. You have to remind yourself, we all have a story. All of us have gone through very hard times. But when we're in a hard time, our mind has a way of forgetting what all we've overcome. I have a way of taking 1 second when I want to quit and saying, okay, you endured this. So I look at my life and how I came up as the ultimate training ground versus most people look at it as why? Woe is me. God, why?
Right, exactly.
Why? I had to flip this upside down and say, hang on a second. God was training me to be one of the baddest men on the planet Earth. That's how this was my journey, because those things beat me, but they didn't kill me. And I was able to work around them and figure out ways through it. So when I was in the worst time of my life in Hell Week, I looked at everybody and said, I'm the most trained person here. I've gone through more mental torture than any of you all can even fathom. So I'm looking at the baddest people on the planet. I'm looking at them like this. You guys can't hold a stick. So I started looking at verses like, I don't belong here, versus like, I might be the baddest person to ever come here. Who could have pulled this off? Who could have been given a sewer to live in their mind and say, okay, at birth, I'm gonna put you in the worst place on the planet Earth, and let me see if you can go to the top of the mountain with nothing, but just hard work, grit, and figuring it out, and not putting yourself back in the dungeon every time something got hard. So that's what became my daily voice was, you really are the baddest person on the planet. I'm not a real smart guy. And what I mean by that is I was born with ADD, ADHD. Like my brain cannot retain information. I'm not some genetic freak when it comes to running, when it comes to lifting weights. I am absolutely the bottom of the barrel. And people will never believe me. And they can just, whatever, believe what you want to believe. So when you ask me this question about what does studying look like for me, I have to go over the same page over and over and over and over again. While Jennifer can look at that page, while she's, quizzing me, she'll learn it right then as she doesn't know anything about it. She will quiz herself or quiz me and learn it as she's quizzing me. It's the most frustrating thing in the world how my brain works. So what I do is I literally sit there with a pen and paper and I have my books and I go through and have to write everything down every single day. I will study the same page until it's photographic memory from writing the same thing down. And then from there, I'll go back through and relearn it again. So I'll learn the bulk of it, but then I'll go through and learn the small things within that. So if it's a medication, I'll learn what the medication does. I'll learn how to even say the medication. Because these medications aren't like, like albuterol. No, it's very big words. So I'll go through, learn how to say the name. Then I'll go through, learn what the dose is. Then I'll go through, and this is like every single day. So not like, oh, I got it. Let's just go through. No, nothing is I got it. Every single thing. So I can't wait to get in this conversation because everything I do in life, it sucks. Everything I do in life, it sucks. That's why when I was 300 pounds and 24 years old, it wasn't like I had some big epiphany of, let's just go be a Navy SEAL and let's lose some weight. No, I knew my entire life was going to be a struggle. which is why I just ignored it. And I said, I'm not even trying to jump off into this and learn how to read, how to write, how to memorize, how to become something I am not. But through that process, something happened to me. And I realized this is why I feel sorry for no one, because people are going to think that I am maybe lying or maybe fibbing or exaggerating. No, I was the lowest form on earth, no talent, no ability to learn. And I literally know what it is to be rock bottom and to build that up. Some criticize my level of passion, but I'm not down with the prevailing mentalities that tend to dominate American society these days. The ones that tell us to go with the flow or invite us to learn how to get more with less effort. That shortcut bullshit. The reason I embrace my own obsessions and demand and desire more of myself is because I've learned that it's only when I push beyond pain and suffering, past my perceived limitations, that I'm capable of accomplishing more, physically and mentally, in endurance races, but also in life as a whole. And I believe the same is true for you. The human body is like a stock car. We may look different on the outside, but under the hood, we all have huge reservoirs of potential and a governor impeding us from reaching our maximum velocity. In a car, the governor limits the flow of fuel and air so it doesn't burn too hot, which places a ceiling on performance. It's a hardware issue. The governor can easily be removed. And if you disable yours, watch your car rocket beyond 130 miles per hour. It's a subtle process in the human animal. Our governor is buried deep in our minds, intertwined with our very identity. It knows what and who we love and hate. It's read our whole life story and forms the way we see ourselves and how we'd like to be seen. It's the software that delivers personalized feedback in the form of pain and exhaustion, but also fear and insecurity. And it uses all of that to encourage us to stop before we risk it all. But here's the thing, it doesn't have absolute control. Unlike the governor in an engine, ours can't stop us unless we buy into its bullshit and agree to quit. Sadly, most of us give up when we've only given around 40% of our maximum effort. Even when we feel like we've reached our absolute limit, we still have 60% more to give. That's the governor in action. Once you know that to be true, it's simply a matter of stretching your pain tolerance, letting go of your identity and all your self-limiting stories, so you can get to 60%, then 80% and beyond without giving up. I call this the 40 rule. And the reason it's so powerful is that if you follow it, you will unlock your mind to new levels of performance and excellence in sports and in life. And your rewards will run far deeper than mere material success. The 40 rule can be applied to everything we do, because in life, almost nothing will turn out exactly as we hope. There are always challenges, and whether we are at work or school or feeling tested within our most intimate or important relationships, we will all be tempted to walk away from commitments, give up on our goals and dreams, and sell our own happiness short at some point, because we will feel empty, like we have no more to give, when we haven't tapped even half of the treasure buried deep in our minds, hearts, and souls. We have a theorist and we have a practitioner. Mm-hmm. The theorist is a person that's going to sit back and read books from a library that someone else wrote. They become real smart about what someone else wrote, okay? A practitioner is me. I put myself in hell, lived in it for a long time, and figured out how the human mind works while suffering, while in pain, while in misery. Yes. And that's how I wrote my book. Yeah. I'm going to tell you exactly what your mind is thinking. Most of us don't stay in hell long enough to write the book. Yeah. I stayed in long enough to write it and finish the book. The road to success is rarely a straight line. For me, it's always been more like a maze. Many times when I thought I'd finally cracked the code, had it all figured out, and found the straight path to certain victory, I hit a wall or got spun into a turnaround. When that happens, we have two choices. We can stay stuck or regroup, back up, and try again. That's where evolution begins. Hitting those walls time and again will harden and streamline you. Having to back up and formulate a new plan without any assurances it will ever pan out will tune your say up and develop your problem. Solving skills and your endurance. It will force you to adapt. When that happens hundreds of times over the course of many years, it is physically exhausting and mentally draining, and it becomes damn near impossible to believe in yourself or your future. A lot of people abandon belief at that point. They swirl in the eddies of comfort or regret, perhaps claim their victimhood, and stop looking for their way out of the maze. Others keep believing and find a way out, but hope to never slip into a trap like that ever again. And those skills they'd honed and developed wither. They lose their edge. I am always on the hunt for another twisted pretzel of a maze to get lost in, because that's where I find myself. The smooth road to success is of no use to savages like me. That may sound ideal, but it won't test us. It doesn't demand belief, so it will never make us great. We all build belief in different ways. I clock countless hours in the gym, where I log thousands of reps and run and ride my bike obscene distances to cultivate belief. Despite what you may think, I don't consider myself an ultra athlete because those races are not who I am. They are tools. Each one provides me a stockpile of faith. So when I get stuck in the maze of life like a broke down savage, I still believe I'm capable of achieving my unreasonable goals, such as becoming a smoke jumper at 47 years old, no matter what society or the good doctor says. I don't mean to suggest that you must run 100 or 200 miles to believe you have what it takes to get where you want to go. That's what I had to do based on the depth of the darkness I came from and the scale of my ambitions. But if you've lost it, you do need to find your way back to belief. Whatever it takes for you to believe that you're better than good enough to achieve your dreams is what you must do. And remember, your greatness is not tied to any outcome. It is found in the valiance of the attempt.
It's more important to own your weaknesses. You got to really triple down on those, man. Because why? You want to become a full human being. We like to run away from weaknesses. Like, for instance, if you're good at running, all you want to do is run. If you're great at reading, you have several books. But we don't do those things that we're not good at. So for me, I realized I keep on running away from these things I'm not good at. I have to dive into these things. I have to become one with these things. And that's what happened. And so I own them both.
Yeah.
And I talk very openly about them both.
Our culture has become hooked on the quick fix, the life hack efficiency. Everyone is on the hunt for that simple action algorithm that nets maximum profit with the least amount of effort. There's no denying this attitude may get you some of the trappings of success if you're lucky, but it will not lead to a callous mind or self-mastery. If you want to master the mind and remove your governor, you'll have to become addicted to hard work, because passion and obsession, even talent, are only useful tools if you have the work ethic to back them up. My work ethic is the single most important factor in all of my accomplishments. Everything else is secondary. And when it comes to hard work, whether in the gym or on the job, the 40 rule applies. To me, a 40-hour work week is a 40% effort. It may be satisfactory, but that's another word for mediocrity. Don't settle for a 40-hour work week. There are 168 hours in a week. That means you have the hours to put in that extra time at work without skimping on your exercise. It means streamlining your nutrition, spending quality time with your wife and kids. It means scheduling your life like you're on a 24-hour mission every single day. The number one excuse I hear from people as to why they don't work out as much as they want to is that they don't have time. Look, we all have work obligations. None of us want to lose sleep, and you'll need time with the family or they'll trip the fuck out. I get it. And if that's your situation, you must win the morning. When I was full-time with the SEALs, I maximized the dark hours before dawn. When my wife was sleeping, I would bang out a 6 to 10 mile run. My gear was all laid out the night before. My lunch was packed, and my work clothes were in my locker at work, where I shower before my day started at 7:30 a.m. On a typical day, I'd be out the door for my run just after 4 a.m. and back by 5:15 a.m. Since that wasn't enough for me, and because we only owned one car, I rode my bike. I finally got my own 25 miles to work. I'd work from 7:30 a.m. to noon and eat at my desk before or after my lunch break. During the lunch hour, I'd hit the gym or do a 4 to 6 mile beach run, work the afternoon shift, and hop on my bike for the 25-mile ride home. By the time I was home at 7 p.m., I'd have run about 15 miles, rock 50 miles on the bike, and put in a full day at the office. I was always home for dinner and in bed by 10 p.m., so I could do it all over again the next day. On Saturdays, I'd sleep in until 7 a.m., hit a 3-hour workout, and spend the rest of the weekend with Kate. If I didn't have a race, Sundays were my active recovery days. I'd do an easy ride at a low heart rate, keeping my pulse below 110 beats per minute to stimulate healthy blood flow. Maybe you think I'm a special case or an obsessive maniac. Fine, I won't argue with you. But what about my friend Mike? He's a big-time financial advisor in New York City. His job is high pressure, and his workday is a hell of a lot longer than 8 hours. He has a wife and 2 kids, and he's an ultra runner. Here's how he does it. He wakes up at 4 a.m. Every weekday, runs 60 to 90 minutes each morning while his family is still snoozing, rides a bike to work and back, and does a quick 30-minute treadmill run after he gets home. He goes out for longer runs on weekends, but he minimizes its impact on his family obligation. He's high-powered, wealthy as and could easily maintain his status quo with less effort and enjoy the sweet fruits of his labors. But he finds a way to stay hard because his labors are his sweetest fruits. And he makes time to get it all in by minimizing the amount of bullshit clogging his schedule. His priorities are clear, and he remains dedicated to his priorities. I'm not talking about general priorities here either. Each hour of his week is dedicated to a particular task, and when that hour shows up in real time, he focuses 100% on that task. That's how I do it too, because that is the only way to minimize wasted hours. Evaluate your life in its totality. We all waste so much time doing meaningless bullshit. We burn hours on social media and watching television, which by the end of the year would add up to entire days and weeks if you tabulated time like you do your taxes. You should, because if you knew the truth, you'd deactivate your Facebook account stat and cut your cable. When you find yourself having frivolous conversations or becoming ensnared in activities that don't better you in any way, move the fuck on.
You start putting yourself in situations that suck, you'll find yourself. You'll find it real quick. It's the only way to find yourself. You don't find yourself, if you like bench pressing and you bench press all the fucking time, what are you finding out? If you like to swim, that's all you want to do is swim, what are you finding out? Put that, people always, people talk about triple down on your fucking strengths. That's the fucking weakest shit in the world. No, triple down on your fucking weaknesses. Find out something about yourself. You already know the good shit. You already know the happy shit. That's why on my Facebook page, everybody goes, why don't you talk about good times? You know how to get through that shit, motherfucker. You don't need you don't need no one to tell you how to get through. It's happy.
Right.
That's easy shit. I'm going to tell you how you can help yourself get through the times that suck. Real life. This is real life. 90% of your life will suck. 10% will be fucking happy. You may be a lucky guy and have a lot of fucking money, have a great ass woman, all this shit. Trust me, one-on-one with that fucking guy, he's missing something. His life still sucks because he hasn't faced something that bothered him his whole fucking life. Something is still eating that motherfucker up.
Almost everybody.
Everybody. Eating you the fuck up. But maybe you found a good way, how I did growing up, on how to ignore that voice that's saying,
You ain't facing some period, man. I'm not special. I just stopped listening. I listened to that voice. This is why I talk so fucking aggressive. People say, man, do you believe in God? You cuss so much. When I say it's letting you know what I'm thinking. If I try to make it all pretty and that's not what my life was. It was a violent struggle daily to get where I'm at today. I'm not gonna water it down. It wasn't fun. It ain't fun today, but I'm happy. I was 24 years old when I realized I was broken inside. Something had gone numb in my soul. And that numbness, that lack of deep feeling, dictated what my life had become. It's why I quit going after my goals, my biggest dreams, whenever things got hard. Quitting was just another detour. It never bothered me much, because when you're numb, you can't process what's happening to you or within you. I didn't know the power of the mind yet, and because of that, I had ballooned into a fat ass and taken a job as a cockroach sniper in restaurants. I had my excuses, of course. My numbness was a survival mechanism. It had been beaten into me by my father. By the time I'd turned 7, I developed a POW mindset. Going numb was how I took my beatings and maintained some level of self-respect. Even after my mother and I escaped, I continued to be stalked by tragedy and failure. And numbness was how I coped with the fact that losing was all I ever knew. When you're born a loser, your goal is to survive, not thrive. You learn to lie, to cheat, to do what it takes to fit in. You may become a survivor, but it's a miserable existence. Just like the cockroaches I was assigned to kill, you find yourself scurrying in from the shadows to claim the bare necessities while hiding your true self from the light at all costs. Born losers are the ultimate cockroaches. We do what we have to, and that attitude often enables some pretty severe character defects. I certainly had some. I was a quitter, a liar, a fat, lazy motherfucker, and I was deeply depressed. I could feel myself unraveling a little at a time. Fed up and frustrated, bitter and angry, I couldn't take much more of my sorry-ass life. If I didn't change, and change soon, I knew I would die a loser, or worse. I might end up like my father, the hustler who was one quick twitch away from violence. I was consumed by misery and groping for some mental foothold to keep me from giving up for good. The only thing I could come up with was to go back to that house on Paradise Road that still haunted me. I had to get to Buffalo, New York and look my father in the eye. Because when you're living in hell, the only way to find your way out is to confront the devil himself. I was hoping to find some answers that would help me change my life. That was what I
Yo, what's up, bro? Okay, so what's up? Am I profitable? Grinding to be profitable. So I be backtesting like almost every single day. Are you profitable? But like, how do you define profitable? Taking A plus Fs only, or what? Like, how do you define it? I know everybody define profitable different ways. Like my strategy is so easy. Let me just show you what I do. Literally, I literally go to 5 minutes. Wait, do you use the Fib tool? The Fibonacci or no? You use it? Mm. How can I Yes, sir. Okay, let me show you how I use my Fibonacci, bro. This is easy. So the way I do it is low-key different. Okay, I'm pretty sure you do it the regular way. Like you probably just take it from the high to the low. I don't do that. Instead, what I do, I'll go to 5 minutes, and so you see how prices right now, right? How can I zoom out though? Very much. I'm doing a hard time frame. 15. So you see how price creates these massive dips? And you see how price dropped down right here? Now this is free game. Literally, I got a post on my YouTube channel. I was gonna like reframe it. I am soon. So what I do, I use my fib tool. I take it from the high to the low, and what I do, all I do is mark out the 50% zone and the 75% zone. Now these areas are discount areas still. So the way how I took this trade from today, at least in this back test session, I did the same thing. I took it from the low to the high, and what do you see what happened? You see that price drew into the 50%. As you can see that once we drew into it, my take profit was sitting at the 50% area. We got into 50% and price reacted off of it, which it was right here. Price drew higher, and probably gonna target up these 75% before price rebalance. The reason why I do this is all because that price always had to fix itself. And before I never like I didn't know what the fib tool was and I already used it correctly. I low-key just started like just fucking around with it, just using it my own way. Like, let me show you how I took this trade. And fucking go back out of it. Probably only be right here. Here. Very simple analysis. Not doing too much. Yeah, I have a few lines on my chart. So I have my 50% zone, and then I have my this is a low, this is a daily low, and that's the daily high here. Right off the back, going into this trade, I already know that price. Obviously, we drop hard, right? And since price drops hard, we are obviously need some fix. So we end up getting one up here, which is again remember that 75% I was talking about. We tap into it. That's wrong right here. We tap into it right there. You see it got wicked. Since it got wicked, confirmation that we're gonna move lower. That simple. Oh, what the fuck, bro? Sorry. Again, you do it again. Look at it again. 75% got wicked. 50% got wicked. That simple. That simple. You can even do on daily. I don't do on daily, but you can do on daily. It's that simple. And that's how I use my fib tool. And basically I use my fib tool as extra confluence. It's making more than you invest. I was well, honestly, I think the way how I see being profitable, I see it's you obviously making money, but I'll also see it that your win rate is high and risk reward is good. So let's say this you risk, I don't know, for example, I'm gonna throw a random number. The most money that you're willing to risk is 5K. So actually let's say this. You start with $100,000 right now. So 100K, right? You risk 1,000 per trade. That's 1%, right? Right? You risk 1,000 to make 5,000, right? Does that make sense? That's and from there, profitable for me would be just scaling higher while having a good risk reward. So you're making money. You're not just gambling. Like you know what I'm saying? You're not doing this. You won't do this, right? Like this is dumb. Like something like this, right? You're taking a trade like this. Like where will your stop loss be? Stop loss will have to be at this area right here, which is that swing low. This is not a bad trade, but I like to take A+ set of trades. I took a trade. It was right here. I was in this one. It was right here. I did the same thing I did. I just lost it because of market nonsense. I thought we were gonna draw back into the 50%, which we was close to doing it right here, and it completely rejected it. But yeah, how's your day, bro? You trade Nasdaq? I know everybody trade Nasdaq. Mm. All right. Why is my app? This makes me so mad sometimes. All right. Hey, but we should already start moving higher though. How much have you made and who taught you and yes, I trade Nasdaq? So currently I just turned 18, but before I was 17 trading. I've been trading for like 6 months now. Yeah, around there. Going 6 months. Actually my grandpa low key introduced it to me. I already knew what it was. I just didn't know much about the stock market. I didn't even know the stock market was a thing. All honesty, I didn't know what it was. What your strat? What you strat, bro? Okay, it's what your strat. I got you. He's my pip tool. He's my pip tool. Pretty simple. Anybody could low key do it. That's my pip tool. Take it from the high to the low. Mark up my 75%, 75, 50%. Once price draws into it, it's 75%. It's like ultra discount. I'm always looking for price to react off of it and move lower. And basically at 50%, same thing. Everything else, like ICT, all that, I use that as, again, I'm a price action trader. So I just do this. I mark up my zone like this. Mark that out. Mark this out. Basically. Or I'll trade the one I took yesterday. I don't know, y'all. Not yesterday, but in session yesterday. I did this. Same thing I'm telling you. This. Marked out my 50%. As you can see, I'm on a time frame of 15 minutes. Take from here. Mark every single zone out. This one. This one. Price draws into the 75%. It's like ultra discount. That's what I see it as. After price draws into it, I am looking for a retracement. RCS ID, retracement of delivery. Did we get it? We did got it. Go to high time frame. More clear. I took it. Yeah, bro, I can't even fucking take all the way down to the 50% zone. So literally, all I do is get down to our time frame. I look for speed divergence. If I don't see any of them, I don't trip. I literally there's no point in me looking for SMT divergence. They're a good tool. They are a good tool. Like I love to use them, but if I don't see it, I'm not gonna like low-key panic over it. So yeah, as you can see, this is how price was at 10%. Tap into it, right? Re-tapped out, tap into again. This is my VWAP line. If you don't know what the VWAP is, it's basically equilibrium price. So whenever price touch line, this is a fair price for this kind of area for where buyers are most likely to enter. So as you can see, the VWAP is powerful. We tap into it once, tap into it twice. Every time we tap into it, we move off of it. So all I can say is keep going, bro. Everyone has their own start. I personally don't like. I personally don't trade like you, so it's interesting watching your chat. What's your strat? What do you ICT? And it's okay. I mean, everybody's strat is different, and I like that. There's like this kid. Let me show you on Discord. There's like this kid. Look it's weird how he trades. Oh, it's on screen. The way how he trades. Hold up. I'm gonna give me 1 second. Cause I saw your text. I'm gonna share right now. Just give me 1 second. I'm gonna show him one thing. How do you um, give me 1 second. I respond to your DM right now. 1 second. But so this is his, right? It's fucking weird. I trade break and retest so easy. Yeah, oh yeah, break and retest is easy. But how do you trade it though, I guess? How can I see the it's like this. This is like backtesting. I can't show you the trade, but the way how he trades is that like he marks out everything like standard deviations and all of that stuff. And from that on point, I don't understand what he's talking about, okay? He's picked 15. I was talking to him and I'm like, I'm confused, bro. I don't know exactly what you're saying. And his chart look like it's like all black because everything on the chart. Like he marks out every single area, like this, there, this, this. He does all of this. Like I don't even know what it means. But basically, what he does, he's marking out 10 deviations. So whenever price tap one of the areas, it reacts off of it. So he still uses the pip tool, but yeah. So basically, after that, why am I trying lagging though? After price retap back into it, I'm looking for a New York section to be able to look and take it out. As you can see, we took it out. It's the trade I took right here. I actually took it away before, but I got stopped out. Why is it? Is it not today? I'm fucking about. I'm fucking stupid. Or is it this day? It's one of these days. I don't know what day it is, but it's one of these days. I think it's this day right here. It's one of them. But yeah, I don't know. I don't even know. But it's literally all I do. I'll just move technical analysis. Yeah, actually. Oh, okay. Do you study ICT a lot or what? I know people like to study ICT good, bro. Like really get in there. I'm like, all I have to say for you is good luck with that, man. I think anybody can be profitable, but it all depends on what you're trying to master, you know? Like it low key all depends on what you're trying to master. I tried to when I got into trading, low key I had so many different I don't even know like what I was doing, okay? My strategy, I don't even know this is what I was doing. It's marking out every single area that I think price could draw to. But if you're gonna ask me who taught me how to trade, I learned by TJR. I personally made 55K in payouts in the span. No, that's amazing, man. That's good. That's actually good. Bro, keep going. What? Keep going. That's good. What platform do you use? Wait, Loki, I would love to talk to you. What? That's good, bro. That's very good. What time is it? At 9:13. We should low-key call one day. I mean, I'm down. I low-key talked to a lot of people that I met off my channel. That's good. Dang, I cannot train now. It's a not yet. I feel that I am gonna keep going. Nice, that's good. But my uncle just made like double that amount that he made in 1 year. I don't even know how people move that quick in trading. I don't even know, bro. But yeah, I've been demoing for like 5, 6 months now, bro. Low-key crazy. I've been doing it for so long. But low-key time went by so fast. And like for all the new traders out there that first started, it's like people don't understand that low-key when you trade, bro, it's gonna show your bad habits in you, right? Like if you like money, it's gonna show all of that. It's gonna show everything in you. If you're emotional, it's gonna show every little thing in you. Every little thing that's in you. That's gonna show it to you. And yeah, that's the time to fly. And think about it, bro, is that the charge is not gonna lie to you. And if you're not able to recognize these bad habits, bro, then trading is not it's not for you. Because you have to sit there and recognize it every single little every little thing that you did, habits, all of that, like it's gonna like you have to recognize it. If you don't, then it's not for you. It's just not. And when I first started trading, I didn't even think I didn't think about that. I didn't think about like that low key. Honestly, I got like money and like okay, I'm going for the money. And then after that, I realized I lost a lot on my demo. Then after that, like literally, I made like 20 different demo accounts. 20 different demo accounts. Now I've been on one. But people just think that you could just get into trading. I don't like that. I think if you just think that you could just get into it, you're gonna lose some money. And you're gonna lose a lot before you realize your path, you know? Like it's not easy. People think it's just not easy, man. Mm. Let me try to show you. Let me show you my demo. Not my demo. Let me show you this. Actually, you wanna see my demo? Okay, I'm gonna show you. I gotta repay for your subscription. I'll get it soon. Yeah, okay, nothing is easy. 72% win rate, 18 trades in total. It's over 6 week of trading. If I show you all together, it might be lower than this. So it's like false narratives. I'm gonna say it's called false narratives. If I was okay, so I created this month. As you can see, I made 850, 3 trades, 1 trade, and as you can see, I take between 1 trade to 1 or 2 trades. As you can see, I took 1 trade. That's 477. I was done for that day. I made $523. What was texting me this? 2 trades, 1 trade, 609, 619, 3 trades. right here, $1,000. Lost two, lost two, I think I lost two trades here. I don't know. Lost 381. This one, and I made 9 bands. Only because I did exactly what I was always doing, just mark out the areas. So I think it's not that bad though. I'll take this winner right here, and backtesting is low-key lower than that, so let's low-key see it. It's right there. 58%. And that's like over the course of this backtest and this backtest. So actually, um I basically passed this account right here. I passed it. And I was happy when I passed this account, bro. Like literally. It's crazy. Like, it's just crazy, bro. But I hate backtesting. I hate it, bro. Like backtesting is deeper. It's not even fun because there's a lot of trades in here I wish I could take, but I can't take it like off I guess technical as much. Like I have to like literally see it, but for me to see it, I have to press this button here, and I press this button here. Every 1 minute, every 1 minute is that 1 minute that candle displayed. So it's a 5 minute interval. Do you do props? I am soon. I am soon. I think I'm gonna get like this weekend. This week. I'm excited. Am I gonna blow an account? Maybe. I don't think I'm gonna blow an account. I don't get mad at trading like that as I used to. I used to always get mad low key, bro. Like I used to like low key. I would like used to like scream, but not no more. Like, the most I do is just bang on my desk and just call it a day. Sit there later at night, go back test, call it a day, and that's it. Alright. Alright, let me focus. I cannot focus now. Oh my. Okay, ADG is so it's no it's no it's an emotion. It's how you handle it. Yeah, it is. You're right. You're right. You're right. But it's just some things that look irritates me, man. It's like we all did this. We all did this. Like we took a trade in our favor, knowing that it goes in our correct bias. We have the confluence, even a confirmation. We take it. Price end up literally stopping us out and then moving to our direction. In our favor. Like that's so annoying. But I think, for anybody to like actually like don't have to trade, like you have to like look at like you have to know how to read these candles, man. I've I probably put in hours like on charts when I first started to like read candles. Man, like when I like read candles, I'm gonna like look at it. Like there's a lot of patterns in here that I see. So when I trade, I mark out every single area. So I like to do this as well. I have a difference point. So these are swing areas. I let them mark out every single swing area, and if price drops into it. Literally, it's like a support zone, if that makes sense. But that's like literally what it is. I don't know why I can't get this off my fucking screen. It's pissing me off. Focus. You want any music in the background to be played or what? I'll play some music for you. Let me know if you want any music. I'll play some right now. That's what like I look to play on that back test. I don't really care for people that's not gonna watch my. I don't care for that. I just like to just stream, document it. Wait, how old are you? I'm about to head out. Gotta go play soccer, my G. Alright, bro. You have a good day. If you want, you can follow me. It's up to you. You have Discord or Instagram? I'll chat you. I DM you. Nice. That's what's up. So I guess I'm ready to the game, bro. Like everybody says, I'm ready to the game. Alright, bro. Yeah, have a blessed day. Mhm. I do not want to blow this again. Oh, what a nice guy. This guy's cool. That's why I love streaming. Love to just have people come on my chat. Now you're that's why I don't stop. Wait, That's why I don't keep that shit pushing. Oh yeah, I'm gonna forever keep it pushing, bro. I already set goals to my future. Like I don't care about the present like no more, bro. Like I stopped caring about the present. The second you stop caring about the present is the second you will move higher. Like you realize things gonna happen in present. You just realize that naturally. If you focus on the present, or just the present alone, it's gonna stop you. But if you just sit there and be so oblivious and just only think about the future and just have everything planned, you know, people talk about these. People talk about, oh, I'm gonna own this house in the future, like all this crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm gonna have a Lamborghini at this age. You know what I'm saying? When you only focus about the future and just say at the present, you're gonna realize a lot of things because that the present is always gonna be messed up. It's always fucked up. It's always. And I said, it's nothing that you can do about it. So the second you realize the future, and just there's only one way up. It's just up, bro. There's no way down, you know. But if you only sit there, that's my discovery. Okay, I got you, I got you, got you. Is also Instagram or what? I'm about to check right now. But yeah, is this you? I don't know who the fuck this is. Is this some naked woman? I don't know. I don't know what Instagram that is, but that's weird. Hold on, check right now. Uh, yeah, it went through. That's weird. It's like some weird naked woman on my fucking. What the fuck? What the fuck? That's actually funny. It's not naked. It's that like it's weird. Oh, you play sports or what? Just had that in mind. Oh, let me check my phone. Look at my lad. Let's see. Oh yeah, I see it. Mm-mm-mm. So crazy. Everybody's trading now. It's amazing. I love that. I love that for people. I love it. Glad people sit there and learn that skill. Okay, I actually gotta end this stream. I gotta go shower and all this crazy. Sheesh. Alright, guys. Hope you guys have a good day. Everybody stay blessed and peace.